Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to NGLCC's Sip and Pitch. I am Carly Specht. I use she, her pronouns, and I am Associate Director of Affiliate Relations and External Affairs. I'm very excited to have you all here today for our February Sip and Pitch. So before we get into the rules and guidelines for today's program, I am excited to introduce the three incredible judges that we have here with us today. We have Jillian Schneeberger from Target, John Terrell from Corning, and Catherine Kuza from Barilla. So thank you all so much for being here and for supporting and judging our business owners at this Sip and Pitch Friday. Now I'm going to go over some rules and guidelines for each of the presentations. So first, each company will have 5 minutes to pitch. I'll have a timer up on my screen that will count down during each presentation, and I'll also unmute myself to remind you when you have 30 seconds left. Next, we'll have just one presenter from each participating company. And after judges, we'll have 10 minutes for feedback and Q&A. And if you don't have a presentation, no problem. This program is designed to be informal to provide real-time feedback for your company's pitch. Also, this is a reminder to please mute your microphone when you're not speaking. And this is a judgment-free zone. This program is designed to help you enhance your pitch and grow your business. So of course, all feedback is shared in the spirit of collaboration. And lastly, most importantly, have fun. Feel free to grab your beverage of choice and enjoy this last Friday of the month with us. All right, let's get started. So first up, as you can see, we have Gabe from Two Spoons. And Gabe, if you have a presentation you're going to be using, you can go ahead and share your screen.
Let's see if we can. Great. While someone else is sharing, it just doesn't love it. Let's see what we got. Everyone
There we
see
go.
that?
All right,
Beautiful,
I'm going to
beautiful
put
ice
my
cream.
timer up and you can get started whenever you're ready.
Thank you. So look, the reality is that consumers today are very fixated on wanting several important things from their products. The amount of choice in the freezer aisle in particular is just huge. But there's consistent data that shows that consumers want more protein, they want less sugar, they want things which are compatible with the increasing number of people who are taking GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and things which boost that. And they also want delicious desserts. As a general rule, things which are healthy, things which satisfy many of those check boxes just simply aren't that good. They really are not very good. And so we are Two Spoons, and we're bringing to the market the very first high protein and zero sugar added, all natural, delicious, amazing ice cream. I have a picture of it up right behind me. This is our strawberries and cream, and every single pint of this product is 30 grams of protein. It is zero added sugar. It is GLP-1 boosting using our main sweetener, which is called allulose, which has a GLP-1 agonist effect and also compatible with those diets. It has the right macros and focuses on classic American flavors, things like strawberries and cream and our delicious Rocky Road. You saw a picture of that at the beginning. We've already won several awards for this product, even though it's brand new, including the Golden Ticket from KeHE and the Best on Trend award from Safeway and Albertsons. And just as a sort of brief kind of overall recap, in addition to those things, the product really is meant to be that beautiful, amazing, decadent, indulgent ice cream experience. We call it ice cream that loves you back because it's ice cream that is satisfying and perfect and beautiful in every way, filled with mix-ins, soft right out of the freezer, gives you all the right texture and taste and flavor, but happens to be better for you and bringing that added protein, zero added sugar, GLP-1 compatibility. There are four SKUs in the initial run, and then four more coming in the summertime. These are our, best selling from a previous kind of test market of a zero sugar version of this ice cream. And that includes our Rocky Road, strawberries and cream, a caramel swirl, our fudgy brownie. By comparison, to the market, we really are bringing a unique combination of things to play, and we believe that this is really what customers want. And even, relative to other kinds of healthier, better for you ice creams, which we think of as, V2, V1, and V2 in that market, we really view ourselves as the kind of, next generation of that. It really is a zero compromise product delivering on what consumers really want. There is no high protein market sizing for ice cream because it's a brand new category that doesn't exist. But broadly speaking, the sugar-free ice cream category, forecast to be a $1.5 billion market by 2030. And of course, when we wrap in better for you, it's going to be even bigger than that. One of the things that I love about the ice cream business, and especially in this moment in this country, is ice cream is one of the few things that all of America agrees on. 94% of Americans buy ice cream at the supermarket. It is more popular than pretty much any other product. It's actually more popular than fluid dairy. So more people buy dairy ice cream than buy fluid dairy in the United States, which is an interesting quirk. Americans love ice cream, and we are happy to deliver that better for you experience with ice cream that loves you back. The other really cool thing about high protein is that there is a tremendous premium in the market for high protein products. There's a big upcharge for protein today that satisfies that Gen Z and millennial demand for additional protein, and up to as much as 100% premium in the cereal aisle. So we believe that there's arbitrage in pricing and margin there. And premium ice cream continues to be a really, really hot sweet spot for CPG acquisition. Just in the last few years, we've had two very big exits in the ice cream category, both of them in premium high growth as Halo Top and Yasa, which both exited for around $2 billion. And the big CPG companies like Unilever continue to reiterate the fact that premium ice cream is a category that they are acquisitive in, and there's a lot of market demand that's not being met. So briefly on our team, I've had several exits in tech. Rich, my co-founder, is a pharma executive with lots of experience. Our advisors include the former CEO of Ben and Jerry's, Perry Odak, and Jim White, who created the biggest house brand in the world, President's Choice. And we've had several big wins at Albertsons and Sprouts, but want to just show you this. We spent a lot of time working on our unit economics, which are extremely important for success here. We will have a 55% gross margin going into this year with a forecast of having about 500 doors, including Sprouts and Albertsons, where we've already won several entries. And we continue to work on our unit economics and believe that we can drive the gross profit even higher. So looking forward to hearing your feedback. That music is lovely. Can't hear you, Carly, by the way. I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the music was great, wasn't it?
It
But thank
really
you so much,
was.
Gabe. That was fantastic. So now I'm going to turn it over to our judges for some feedback. Jillian, do you want to start us off?
Sure. First of all, I just have to applaud you for a great presentation. You gave us a lot of data, and I'm definitely intrigued by the product. And I have so many questions. I want to learn more. I want to taste it. I wish we had samples and it could come through the next technology, right? Coming through
We'll
the,
send you
yeah.
some.
Thank you.
Anytime you want it, we'll send it to you.
But my immediate thought is like, what's next for you, right? Like, what are you focused on? I know you said you were focused on the pricing and getting that down, but what else? Is it expansion of flavors? Is it different sizes? Like, what do you need in order to hit the different marketplaces accurately?
Would you like me to answer that, or was that just feedback?
Oh, no, I answer it, please.
Okay, yeah, sure. So we're very, very focused on ice cream. We believe that ice cream, because of the size of the market and the demand for protein, I think, and zero sugar is going to be a big category. So that's our focus, and our strategy is to go, deeper and deeper into that market. So that in retail packaged ice cream means expanding the SKU selection, getting our capacity so that we can start making seasonal flavors, for example, which is a big part of what you need to be able to do in that business. Growing our footprint, at a MSRP of 849, we are able to access the vast majority of the country, at that price point, and we'd love to drive COGS down below $2. So right now we're just over $2. We'd love to drive it below $2 so we can get the MSRP to magic 699 and thus be sellable, pretty much everywhere in the country. And that's our primary focus.
Okay, I love the answer. I would say sometimes when you're meeting with big box retailers, we kind of want to know what you're focused on because that'll tell us where your capacity is, as well as helping us understand like Is there room for exclusivity? Is there room, like, what are the best selling SKUs, right? And putting that sales data on there so we can
Yep.
really understand, like, hey, if we were going to bring in 2 SKUs, these are the 2 to go for, and this is the sales data to back it. That's my
Awesome.
feedback. Great job.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jillian. John, do you want to go next?
Sure. If you're sending samples, yeah, I'm a ice cream lover, so don't forget me. But no, this is great. I really enjoyed
100%.
I enjoyed the presentation. Um, I'm a visual type person, so I love the pictures. Um, I think you did a really good job. There were some like descriptions that you said. I think you mentioned about some of the box retail, like you said, you mentioned some of the stores like Albertsons and Sprouts. I would probably say when you did provide some type of data metrics, when you had like some metrics on the screen, I would have probably put the Albertsons and Sprouts information probably on the slide. I happen to know about Albertsons only because I grew up in Florida, but I live in Charlotte now, and I think folks around here would probably wouldn't understand it, except for the Sprouts part. But I would probably just put some of those metrics on there. There were some indications about GLP-1 capable. I wasn't really quite sure what that stood for. But I think if I was in this world of food, I would probably do it, but I'm not. So yeah, I think as far as like adding the details around the things that you did mention, which are really great, I just didn't quite understand what some of those acronyms were. And one more about the zero sugar. I know that's important, but I'm also curious to know if it's sweet, what are you replacing the sugar with? And that would probably be like my feedback. But other than that, did a great job.
Thank you so much. The answer is allulose and monk fruit to that your last question, which are both natural sweeteners, and allulose as a GLP-1 parentheses is the drugs that you've heard of called Ozempic and Wegovy, those atide drugs that help people lose weight. So people on those drugs now, going up to about 12% of the US population, people on those drugs need to eat particular macros. So they need to eat a higher protein diet that's generally speaking lower in sugar. And so this product has the macro fit for somebody on one of those drugs, and also helps stimulate that same response. Allulose stimulates that response in a lot of people as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm seeing. Thank you for that. And I'm seeing the slides
Sure.
here with Albertsons and Sprouts. I might have
Sure.
missed that.
No,
But
no.
yeah.
I just threw it up for you. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, you did a
Thank
great
you.
job.
Thank
I
you.
know it's not easy doing this, but you did a fantastic job. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks so much, John. Catherine?
So I'll piggyback on that. I would like a try too if you were sending those.
To anybody who wants them,
I'm very
you
excited
just
about
need your
it.
address. Yeah.
So it was a great presentation. I did want to say that it was very good at highlighting what we want in a dessert. I thought was really great at the beginning where you kind of specified this is what people are looking for, people who are on that healthy route. So I thought it was great. It was good to see all of the different flavors that you're currently offering. I did like your fun fact about ice cream selling more than dairy. I think that kind of leaves like a memorable mark. So I think that was a nice little knack. Things that I think you should, as far as feedback that you might want to consider also, maybe add stuff about your sustainability efforts. That's a really big thing going on right now. So I think maybe giving a little more insight onto where the company is going with that would definitely help. And then I was glad that John kind of brought it up because I was kind of like left like, well, where can I purchase this? And then you threw up that slide. So maybe a little bit more emphasis on where you can purchase it. And then also, as John also mentioned, in GPL, I know for those who may not know, and those who do, even though I know what the GPL was, and you said it was compatible, maybe kind of explain how it's compatible. And that might be another selling point because those people, that 12% that you were saying, are really going to want to hone in on that because they're like, I want something tasty. And if this is something that I can have, that'll be a very big seller for you as well. But overall, great presentation and great visuals.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gabe, and thank you so much, judges. That was really great, and thanks for your feedback. Next up, we have Charlie presenting Jack Fur. Charlie, if you have a presentation that you're going to be using, you can go ahead and get that set up and start sharing your screen.
Great. Everyone can see.
Yep, I'm gonna get my timer up and then you can get started whenever you're ready.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks for having me. I'm Charlie Razook. I'm the founder of Jackfur. If I can, there we are. Jackfur is a certified clean men's skincare brand that helps men look and feel their best without adding to their toxic burden. So I was diagnosed with leukemia in 2018, and that really woke me up to, the toxins in our environment. My doctors couldn't tell me whether it was genetics or environment that made me sick, but some combination. So the only thing I could control in that equation was my environment. So the more research I did into clean living, the more I found out about the chemicals in our products and our food. So when I went to swap out my personal care products, I could really only find a handful of women's and baby products that were really approaching this problem of pulling out the chemicals that are potentially endocrine disruptors and carcinogens in our skincare products. So after 6 months of using those, I decided to make my own, and we call ourselves the Clean Keels. Um, so, and I'd like to add quickly because everyone asks, I am cancer free, I'm doing well. But yeah, so we went to market in August 2022 with 3 products and have since added a 4th. We have a shave cream, a cleanser, a moisturizer, and an eye cream. And then we have a bundle as well. We have a bar soap coming out this year, a few other products in the works. So we say that we are the most certified clean men's skincare brand on the market. What does that mean? Clean means better for you and the environment. So when I was doing research into this, I was finding it really overwhelming to read ingredient lists. So what I found was if you get a third-party certification from a name brand that you can trust, you don't have to trust the brand making these claims that aren't really FDA regulated. How do you know it's natural? How do you know it has better for you ingredients? How do you know it's better for the planet? So I turned on these third-party certifiers. So all of our products are EWG verified, which is better for you or the planet. 70% are more certified organic, and that is FDA regulated organic claims. So not many people can claim that. Vegan certified, Leaping Bunny cruelty-free certified, but also we found that what's better for you is also better for the planet. So sustainability is a big focus as well. Our tubes use 50% PCR plastic, so they're 50% recycled. We have FSC certified only paper in our packaging, which is responsibly forested. And a portion of all sales goes towards planting trees in North America with 1 tree planted. We're also plastic neutral certified. So that means that we recover as much plastic as we use that is ocean bound in the environment. You can see here that we've won a bunch of awards. GQ called our shave cream the best shave cream for sensitive skin. We won the Men's Journal Grooming Award for the best cleanser, best eye cream of the year from Best Products. This is a big market, and men's skincare is growing, but also the clean market sub market is growing within that. For the first time, you're really seeing men purchase because of, being on calls like this on Zoom because of the rise in social media. You're just pictured more. And then COVID really encouraged people to indulge in wellness routines. And you're seeing that people are benefiting. Dr. Squatch just had a big majority sale. Edgewell acquired Jack Black in the past few years. So, we're different because we're premium and we're clean, and that's really like a niche right now. I've explained our certifications, but we're free from thousands of chemicals that are already banned in the EU. We only use natural fragrances, no dyes. Most brands use things like phenoxyethanols, preservatives that can be allergenic, synthetic dyes, synthetic fragrances, thousands of ingredients can hide in there. While we are made for men, we appeal to women as well. 50% of our customers, women making household decisions. So we're expanding, like we're 80% online and half of that is Amazon, half of that's our own
30
website.
seconds.
We're also in Erewhon in California, Grove Collaborative online. We're in 70 plus independent boutiques nationwide and growing. And the feedback's been amazing. So I want to thank you for your time. Right now, we're looking not only for investment to continue our growth, but also to talk to more distributors like Target, wink, wink. And yeah, so thank you.
Thank you so much, Charlie. That was great. And now I am going to turn it over to the judges for some feedback. John, do you want to start us off this time?
Hey, Charlie, great job, great presentation. And you had some really good pictures on there, and really really great information. I love your I love your story, and I'm interested to learning more. Um, you're I get the fact that we're on a time constraint, and but there was so much great information on your slides that I wanted to know more, and but like for instance, there's some products that I personally use. I use the Castile soap, and I saw that it was good, but it wasn't as favorable. I'd be kind of curious to know like the differences between how your product differs from that, like that Castile product, for instance. But and another thing that popped up, oh, like some of the accreditations from the sources like Men's Health and GQ, like I noticed those things, and but I would be curious to know. It was a little small, so I couldn't see which product like GQ had their certification on. So I'd be curious to know like which one of your four products um was which, for instance. But you did an awesome job, and keep it up. Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah, and to answer your question, so Dr. Bronner's, that Castile soap you were referencing, that's in the mass clean sector. So we're premium, which our formulas are a little more sophisticated, and have, I'd say, better actives that are meant for the face, versus body. So they're more like mass clean, lower price point, few ingredients, organic for the body. People tend to be more finicky about the face, and really where there's room in the market is in the premium category. We're experiencing a premiumization in facial skincare.
Thanks for your feedback, John.
Thank you for that.
Catherine, you want to go next?
Sure, thank you. Great presentation. I do want to say, kind of like John said, I really enjoyed the backstory. I feel like it brings that genuine feel to your product and why you started it. I did want to kind of know a little bit more about the name, why Jack Fur. I went back, I was like, well, that's not his name. So I was like, where did it come from? So that, especially because it's a unique name, so that would be kind of interesting to have on there. It was nice to see your line of products that you had, but then you did mention the women's line. So I know you started it as a men's line, but I would also give a little bit more time to introduce that, because that's a whole much bigger market, because women are definitely bigger purchasers of skincare lines. So I would definitely like to see a little bit more information on that, and if it's still called Jack Fur, or if it has another name, or whatever the case is. But I did like how, which is kind of what Jillian asked the previous person, where do you plan to take your business to, or what are your next steps? So I thought that that was really great. Other than that, that's all I got. So very excited for you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And I'm a big Barilla fan. I lived in Milan for 9 months. I was actually there when I was diagnosed getting my MBA. But to answer your first question, it's a question we get a lot, and a lot of people call me Jack on emails thinking that's my name because of it's not. Jack fir is a combination of a jack pine and a fir tree made into one word. We're inspired aesthetically by the Adirondacks and our national parks, which we find is reflected in our tubes that look like pine trees. There's a little map of the Adirondacks when you open it. Again, we plant trees for every purchase in America. So even our scents have kind of like a subtle woodsy, earthy scent. And so we wanted it to be like this aesthetic kind of full brand moment circle. And then regarding the women's line, I think I might have that phrasing might not have been right. So it is men's only. Women do purchase, but for the men in their lives. Some
Uh,
purchase for themselves. That said, I would say in the next like 5 to 10 years, we probably will go more gender neutral. I actually hate that it's gendered, but men are kind of new men, very broad strokes speaking, but our customer is very wanting to be approached through something marketed towards men. But I think generally the world is going towards gender neutral. So it's something we're always thinking about.
yeah, good to know. Thank you.
So I'll bring it home. I again just really appreciate the vulnerability of sharing your story. So thank you. And you set up the need perfectly. However, I do want to get more into the line a little bit. And so exactly what Catherine said about Jack Fur, and like you answered it great, but I would want to see that in the deck, right? Because you had so many things that point back to the name, that also speaks to the brand. And I think that also just really sets you up as to like the vision of the brand. Um, I also, like John, was interested in like the awards, but more in the products themselves. Like you do need a product page that says these are the 5 SKUs and they should be in order of bestseller. So you should always put your hero product first. Like what's the size, what's the MSRP, if you have any sales data on it. That deck, in the deck needs to kind of be, if you're presenting to pitch to be in business for consideration, that definitely needs to be in there. I loved everything you were saying about sustainability, about the bottles. I would have loved to see, and then you just said that you plant a tree. Like I didn't know that, right? So maybe a sustainability slide that talks about the plastic and your efforts, because as Catherine said on the last one, sustainability is a focus, and we want to align with brands that are helping to lower their emissions through us as well. I'm just looking at my notes really fast. And I love that you ended with an ask, right? You kind of told us what you're looking for. And I really appreciate that. So I'm going to answer your ask with an email. That is an email that I monitor daily. So please send over, the deck to me, and I will send it over to the merchandise team as I focus on our private label, but I'm here representing the full team.
Cool. I appreciate it. Thank you for the feedback and the email.
Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you so much, Charlie. You did a great job. Thank you so much to our judges for your feedback there. And last but not least, we have Ed from Stencil One. Ed, if you have a presentation that you're going to be using, you can go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. Let's okay. Can you see that all right?
Yep. I'm going
Okay.
to start my timer and you can get started whenever you're ready.
Okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Ed Roth, and my company is Stencil One. And I founded Stencil One in 2004. It's a Brooklyn-based modern design and decor company, and our mission is to empower people with creativity through affordable, innovative tools. Our high-quality reusable stencils make art accessible, allowing customers to personalize crafts, clothing, home decor, school projects, and more. And yes, we are registered with the NGLCC as an LGBT-owned business. I'm giving you a lot of visuals in the front so you can see. It's kind of, I can show you my stencils, but it's really nice to show you what customers have made with the stencils. So you can paint all sorts of surfaces with our laser cut Mylar washable reusable stencils. I'm going to get into how I started. So in 2004, I had the hobby of making stencils, painting clothing with them. I also had the interest in stencil graffiti. I also liked home decor. So I was like, well, how can I bring this together? And I was a web designer and a graphic designer. And I also was running an art gallery in Brooklyn where my mission was to sell art for under $150. And this was all up and coming artists who would sell for much more. But I was like, well, let's like make it accessible. And so you'll see that as a running theme, like making something big and grand a little more accessible to people. And so I don't know how old everyone is, but in early 2000s, I was buying a lot of design books before the internet was all about design resources. If you think back to 2004, I was personally buying like design books as inspiration. And I was like, I want to make a design book, but I want usable stencils in the book. So that was the start of the idea. And I showed publishers a prototype book I created, and they were like, very cool, very expensive to make. We've never made a laser cut stencil book, a die cut book. They just rejected it. But as a web designer, I built a website and I started selling my stencils, stuffing envelopes from home, and Stencil One was born. And now 20 years later, I have 500 laser cut stencils, all made in the USA, available. I have 6 books with Chronicle books, and I have a new line of wall decals. So I'm going to show you all that. So as I stated, what we do is we make stencils and we make decals. But the other thing that we offer is retail activations, not just with retail stores. We've partnered with other companies like the Human Rights Campaign, Levi's, the Brooklyn Museum, and we do DIY events. So we bring stimulation to other companies through creative events. We bring our stencils in and we will customize something. So the stencils are in different categories. Different stores have different areas, and these are our categories: crafts, seasonal items, letters and numbers, apparel, wall decor, and even makeup now, which is great for Halloween, but also cosplay, festivals. And then we offer our stencils in a variety of sizes and configurations that you see on the right, with different price points ranging from $5.99 to $19.99. The stencils are quite versatile. You can use them on walls, canvas, paper, glass, wood, concrete. Many of our designs are great for customizing apparel, and now the new line of makeup stencils. The new wall decals, I call them the squares because guess what? They're square and they're 12 by 12 inches. They're peel and stick. They're washable. They're repositionable. We offer 24 designs in the first collection. And you'll see in the bottom left image, there's 9 orchids, for example, in that pack. And the pack next to that, where you see a black and white pattern, is a repeat pattern where you get 12 in one package. Oh boy. So here's a lot of pictures of events that we've done with major brands, and more of them, and lots of great press. And why are we the perfect retail partner? Proven expertise, trusted by major retailers, local manufacturing, high sell-through rate, engaged with our community, and lots of technical reasons like EDI capabilities, drop ship, custom design, exclusives. And here's my contact information. So thank you for letting me share this information with you.
Thank you so much, Ed. Great job. Wow, we got really, really lucky today with 3 such great presenters. You did a great job. And now I'm going to turn it over to our judges for some feedback.
Thank you.
So Catherine, do you want to start us off this time?
Sure. Great job, Ed. Very interesting product. I know so many people that would love your stencils for sure. I think you have really big markets, both adults to children, that would love to purchase the stencils. I know I'm very much interested in it. Also, I did want to know a little bit more of what they're made out of, and if they're reusable. So a little bit of more of that information I think would be interesting to know, because then, you know, like, okay, if they're not reusable, more people are going to have to purchase them more often. So it's a good selling point. If they are reusable, it's still a good selling point because you can use it more than once. And then I did love the fact that you included all of the different categories you have, because I was surprised about the makeup one, which is, I think, a great idea, especially for Halloween costumes, like you said. And then I really did like that slide that you had at the end about the perfect partner retail. However, yes, exactly, the slide right now. maybe you can kind of speed along your presentation at the beginning, because I felt like you kind of rushed it at the end, and there were
Yeah.
some great selling points that you kind of might have missed out on. So that's my I guess negative feedback that I would say. But other than that, you did a great job, and I'm very excited for Stencil One.
Oh, thank you. And to answer that real quick, it's Mylar, which is like plastic, and it's washable, reusable. I've had the same stencils for over 10 years. So
Oh, see, that's great to know that the longevity of it as well. So
yeah, a little more eco.
yeah.
Thanks so much, Catherine. Jillian?
Hi, Ed.
Hi.
Ed and I know each other, so I'm going to pretend like I don't know you and your
Okay.
product. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Because I might have seen this deck before. So I love the versatility of your product. You know that. And I think that there's so many great avenues that fit across so many different customers, right? It is for retail. It's also for events. It's like Catherine was saying, across a different customer base. I kind of would love to see each one of your usage cases having either a slide or sharing a slide of how you've done this, right? Because it did start with stencils in the arts and crafts. Then you went into some of those pop-up retail experiences like the Levi's, the brand experiences. How would that work if I wasn't a retailer? How could I, as a corporate, still partner with you for one of those brand experiences, right? Like there's that opportunity to customize and come in and do a corporate event or a pop-up for employees or for guest facing. I think of some of the car companies that would do something like that for sure, right? Like I think there's a broader market. And then you get into the makeup stencils was, yes, there is seasonality to that, but there's also just a lot of people wear stencil makeup now to concerts and to festivals and just everyday life, right? And so kind of showing some of those on a larger, like I know what they look like, but like zone in and really kind of show those moments of what that mermaid looks like, so that people can really understand what they would be getting. And then into the new wall decal, which is your newest line, right? Of showing, I would love to see those designs a little bit bigger. So I can really understand, like I can see the orchids behind you, but what were the other ones? I just think, as Catherine said, your story sets it up. And it's a great story, but I think you need to hit it a little bit quicker so that you can get into the product, because your product is definitely your hero. And they're so creative. I think we want to spend a little bit more time. And then on the bottom of each slide, just giving that price point so people can understand, is this affordable? What is the reuse, sustainability of it, usability of it, that shelf life. And if you have anything like each stencil lasts 100 uses or whatever that is, right? I think that does go a long way to understand that price breakdown per use of what it really costs.
That is amazing feedback. I love the usage examples, and because you want to see those experiences, because we have created experiences for companies that don't sell the stencils, never had a stencil in their collection, and we partner with them to have people engage with their products. And I like the comments about, showing how long it lasts, because there's the value in that. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Jillian. And John, do you want to finish it off?
I couldn't have said any better than Jillian did. Ed, you did a phenomenal job. I mean, I can really see your web designing, marketing background really come through in your presentation. I thought it was very easy to understand. I like the things that you were explaining. You had pictures to match. I mean, it was just easy to follow along, and just kind of, for me, just really kind of told the story. And you talked about the next steps at the very end, even the part about like the reusable thing. I think you did mention that. I know Catherine has some feedback on that, but I think you did indicate like there was one that was reusable. I think I caught it, but no, I mean, you did a wonderful job, and I thought it was pretty easy to follow along. And I have young children that love arts and crafts projects, and this would be something that they would probably look forward to utilizing. So no, you did a great job. Thanks for the story.
Yeah, greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ed. Great job. And thank you so much to our judges. And judges, I'm going to turn it back over to you one more time as we kind of go over some closing thoughts for our presenters. After seeing all three of these great retail pitches, I just want to hear some closing thoughts from each of you. So we'll start with you, Jillian.
Oh gosh. I was so impressed with the caliber of product today and presenters. I know this is an easy thing, and these products are your babies, and it's hard to receive feedback. So thank you for being gracious enough to open yourself up to that. Just remember that not everybody's going to want to see the same information, but there's some information that everyone needs to see in order to really understand the viability of a product. Some of that I didn't see today is really the comp market, right? And understanding what the competitive landscape is. I saw it a little bit with the grid for Jack Fur, but I would dive a little bit more into that. And then just making sure that you're putting in the data and the metrics, because that's what's going to sell, right? Think about Shark Tank. When they go on there, it's all down to the numbers. And that's what it is when you're pitching to any retailer. The metrics and the data have to be there. And then any kind of claims that you have need to be proven with data as well. And that's going to be really what helps to move conversations to the next level.
Thank you so much, Jillian.
Yeah.
John, some closing thoughts?
It's not easy to do this, to pitch. I mean, I know these products have a lot of meaning, and there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that's put into the things that we do. So I do know that certain situations you might come across an executive or someone, and that elevator pitch really is sometimes all you have is that 40 seconds or even 25 seconds to kind of tell that story. And I know there was a lot of information. I would probably say just perfecting the time when it's either a minute presentation or a 4-minute presentation, of being able to cover all the points and making sure that you're hitting the high notes without having to rush some of the things that might be important, like the metrics or the other sales and things, so on and so forth. But all in all, great presentation. I was happy to be a part of this. I'm in a different industries, but I was coming here with an open slate and open mind. But this was very easy for me to understand, and I really appreciate being a part of this and being in the audience. So thanks.
Thank you so much, John, and thanks for being here. And happy late birthday. And Catherine, you want to wrap it up?
Yes, it's always hard going last because Jillian and John both said about everything that I would have touched on. But just to reiterate what John said lastly, this is your baby. So just show that confidence behind it. I know sometimes it's easy to put stuff on slides, and people can read it, but you don't have to feel like you have to put so much on the slides. Just, you know how to sell it. This is what you guys have been thinking about for years, and it's your baby. You know how to sell it because it sold you on the idea, right? So just keep that confidence up. Don't feel like you have to say so much. And sometimes less is more, because if the product is really good, it will sell itself. So don't feel like you have to put so much information to get it out there, because all three of you, I'm not lying, were so impressive that I want to go now to each of your website and look at it because I was so impressed. So let the product also do some of the work for you on top of what Jillian and John were saying as well, I think are very important too. So those are just some little something added that I could say that wasn't already said. So thank you guys for your presentation today.
Thank you so much, Catherine, and great feedback. You added on very well, so don't sell yourself short. Thank you all so much for that feedback and for those closing thoughts. And now that we have finished with the pitches, we're going to move on to the community and conversation portion of Sip and Pitch. So today we're just going to do a little bit of speed networking before we close out for the day. So we will have a few different breakout groups where you will have a chance to introduce yourself and your company, and answer the prompt on the slide. So each session will be about 10 minutes long, and then we'll come back into the main room before starting the next session. So we're gonna get those breakout groups set up now. And for round one, please share your name and pronouns, your company and your role. And then share an upcoming business or professional goal that you are working towards. And we will get those opened up now. So when you get an invitation to join your room, please accept that. And then go share.
Yay, that worked. You can't see the settings I have up, right? Like the breakout room box. Early, I've never done this. Was I supposed to set a timer?
No, we could just close them after 10 minutes.
Okay.
So that'll be like 4:17,
27?
27. Yeah, thanks.
And
My brain is
I just close all rooms, or do I do anything else?
You can just close them when we get there. I think you can set a timer, but you can also just close them, so it doesn't have to be exactly 10 minutes. Hey, Whitney, you can close the rooms now. I think it usually takes another minute to actually close them.
Awesome. I was about to say something. Yep, 60 seconds. Denzo.
Do you want me to keep you on spotlight, Carly?
Yeah, you can keep me on spotlight and I'll just announce the next room and then I'll turn my video off again.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the main room. We're going to do the second round of speed networking. So this time, same thing, share your name and pronouns and your company and your role. And then talk about what is one trend in retail that you're excited about or one that you find challenging. So we will send you into that second round of breakouts now, and then we'll bring you back here in 10 minutes. The supplier diversity email hasn't changed, right? It's still supplier diversity at NGLCC.org.
Yeah, it's still the same.
Okay. Abby, I'm connecting you with somebody from ORPID with a question about certification.
Okay, thank you.
When do you head out for ACES?
Monday morning.
Does it start Tuesday?
Yeah, we're starting Tuesday afternoon and we're doing programming from like 4 to 5:30 and then the reception from 6:30 to 8:30. And then full day of programming on Wednesday and then like programming until 3 p.m. on Thursday. So that way people can get there on Tuesday and leave Thursday if they want to.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm glad to be getting there a little bit early just because I don't know. I'm like ready to be working on it and to be there.
Yeah. Well, and until you're like there in person, it's hard to focus on anything else.
Exactly. Like if I spent most of the day on Monday at my house, I would be like,
Twiddling your
what do
thumbs.
I do? Yeah, like I need to be working on the event. Like it doesn't feel right to be doing just like a couple hours of like regular work.
Yep.
Plus we're staying at the Ritz-Carlton, so like I want as much time there as I can get.
Is the
Fun.
weather supposed to be decent in Cleveland?
No,
Oh,
it's gonna be raining all week.
oh no.
But that's okay because I'll be inside at the Ritz-Carlton.
Exactly, exactly.
I will be leading sessions or at the hotel bar. So
That'll
yeah,
be
no, it's gonna be like 40s and 50s, and then I think it's supposed to be raining like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Oh my gosh. You sure you're not going to Portland?
I know, right?
nice.
Listen, I thought it was gonna be colder, so I'm like I'm okay with it. I'm coming from Mexico City, so I'm like very, very spoiled here with my weather. So I'm already just gonna have a tough time adjusting.
Are you going back after or home?
Yeah, we're in Mexico City right now and we're flying back tomorrow morning and then flying to Cleveland Monday. And then once I get back, I'm gonna be spending like another 2 weeks at my parents' house and just hanging out in Baltimore. And then we're coming back to Mexico City like end of March.
Dang, where are you staying there?
We're staying in an Airbnb.
Okay.
It's really nice.
I've
Good.
heard that people love the anthropology museum there.
Yeah, I went there last time I was here and it's crazy cool. It's like all open air and just like design wise, it's beautiful and it's massive. Like I think we spent almost 3 hours there and we were like kind of rushing through the last couple of rooms because we spent like the first hour in the first room and then we were like, okay, we need to speed it up or we are not going to see everything. Like this is packed. It was really cool.
That's like I want to go so bad. That's like my niche. That's what I studied. I was thinking like
You would love it then. You would love it. And like a lot of the museums here, understandably, like don't have everything in English, but the anthropology museum has almost everything like fully translated as well. So, some museums you can go to without reading everything, but like I feel like an anthropology museum context is kind of everything.
yeah, context is key. That's so fun.
Like if you can't read things, you're just like, okay, cool, bones. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if these are from 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago. Like they're just bones.
Or what they were a part of or
Yeah, exactly. It's really cool. It's also just cool to see like how different countries do museums.
Mhm.
I don't
I went
know.
to the Louvre a long time ago, like 10 years ago, and it was so cool. I was on a tour group, so we only got like 4 hours to spend in the Louvre, and you, the Louvre is massive. You
It's
can't
so
do
big.
4 hours.
Yeah, you really need like 5 different trips there to absorb it all. It's
Yep.
crazy.
I looked at the map on the 2 items I wanted to see in person, which was the Mona Lisa and a statue called Psyche and Cupid. So I
Mhm.
saw both of those and then just wandered around because I wouldn't be out. It's impossible to see everything.
Yeah, it really is. And then you're like cramming your brain with so much information and you leave and you're like, I don't even know what I just saw. I forget it all.
The Mona Lisa is tiny. It's
It
like
is very small.
half the size of your laptop screen. Like
It's not that small. It's like a couple times the size of your laptop screen, but it's
no.
quite small.
It's well, okay, given my memories like from 12 years ago. But I remember in person that it was looked like a piece of paper. I was like, I
Yeah,
was not expecting it to be so small.
That's
it's
so misleading. I feel
I
like they market it as like a grand giant painting.
30 by 20 inches. Like that's so
Okay.
cool.
Okay. It's a little bigger than I'm picturing from my 15-year-old self, but
But you're also looking at it from like 20 feet back because there's like a million tourists and a rope around it and everything. So it's like you also can't go up and look at it. So it feels so much smaller too because of that.
That's so fun. I'm going to a Van Gogh like sip and paint thing next weekend, which I'm excited about.
Oh, fun.
I'm doing this really complicated cross stitch like color by number. We have a couple minutes. I'm going to show you.
That's so fun.
Oop, don't lose the needle. Okay. So like that's the part I've done, and then it's all like contrasting colors, so you can't really tell what it looks like.
Wait, can you remove me as a spotlight or spotlight yourself?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, now I can see you.
Okay. So this is what it's gonna look like.
Ooh, that's so
Very nice.
fun.
Right. And that's all I've done so far. It's so big.
That's still
Oh my
progress.
God,
That's taking me like 10 hours, that tiny little thing.
that's crazy. Do you
My
knit? I really want to get into knitting.
I learned how to knit when I was really little, but I have found that I like crocheting far more. I think it's a little easier and more forgiving.
That's what my sister says too. I feel like I need to learn crocheting first, or like I will have no hope to get into knitting.
Yeah, and I had someone show me how to knit, but I self-taught myself how to crochet. Oh, are we
I'm
at
gonna
time?
let them back in.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry.
Can you go to the last slide? I can't remember what I put for this question. We're gonna end a little early. Share one win from 2025 so far. That's appropriate. I do remember making that now.
Having a whole conversation and I'm muted.
Oh.
I feel like that's been all of us today. I did that several times too.
They're coming back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to do one more round of breakout groups, and we are going to end on a high note and an optimistic note for this one, which I'm sure we all need after the start to 2025. So again, please, in these breakout groups, share your name and pronouns, your company and your role if you're with new people. And share one win from 2025 so far. So that can be business, it can be professional, it can be personal, just one win from 2025 so far. And we will come back here in about 10 minutes, and then we're just going to share our next step and pitch event and close it out. So see you all back here in a couple minutes.
Okay, knitting.
Knitting. My aunt taught me how to knit, but I self-taught crochet. So that was like a learning curve. But I do think knitting is maybe like a little more therapeutic. Like you have to
Mhm.
focus a little more. Helps with the attention span.
Yeah, I really like doing activities that I can like do while then also like watching or listening to something. So I know that at one point I will need to get into knitting or crocheting.
Yes.
Cross stitching I really like, but I also haven't really tried others. So I like this one because it tells me what to do, with like the color by number type. And
Mhm.
sometimes I really lack the creativeness to not have instructions.
What's the difference between cross stitching and needlepoint?
Cross stitch, as far as I know, like the super basic cross stitch, because there's like 6 different cross stitches you can do. So like a half stitch where it's just the one line, or the full cross stitch where it's like an X. So you have the 4 circles and then it just goes across. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing that over and over on, I don't know if you can see the screen.
And cross stitch is on like a specific mat, right? And then needlepoint can be on like fabric.
Yeah, so you can like see all the holes in
Mhm.
my thing.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
I remember I did like a couple like of those really basic like ones for kids of like needle points before. And I just love that you just kept poking it. And that's like the only I feel like cross stitch is probably a little bit more complicated than that.
Not tangling the strings though have been the hardest
Mm.
part.
Has Mishka been playing with the excess strings? Yeah.
It's actually been really good where she isn't messing with it when I have it laying out. It's when I'm actively working on it that she thinks I'm playing with her because I have the string up and
Oh God.
Funny. No, when we were on our call this morning, Whitney, I saw your curtains moving in the background and I was like, I just know she's back there running around.
yeah. I put blackout curtains up and I've left the blinds up like on one of them so she can sneak back and still have sunshine, but I don't need
Oh.
sunshine, so
Would you have them closed all the time if it were up to you?
oh yeah. I
Oh,
like
look-
it sometimes, but it's when I'm like watching TV and there's just this really
Yeah.
annoying glare I can't get rid of.
Yeah, definitely they're necessary for when you're like watching things or like working. Like I get like direct sunlight in here for like an hour every morning, but I can't do it if I'm on a call because it's just like so bright and I can barely see my screen. So I'm like, okay, I need to do a more menial task for this hour so that I can like absorb all of the rays. Versus like anything I need to see like any kind of contrast or color on.
Yep. Yeah, the sun sets right out here. So like at 4 p.m. My living room gets like 5 degrees warmer and it's too much.
Yeah.
I'm excited for when it starts getting lighter earlier because on CERT committee mornings, it's just pitch black outside and like it's so
Yeah,
dark.
because you start at what, 7?
6 for me.
Dang.
Yeah.
He's in Portland now. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I forgot you moved.
Mm.
That's so early. Do you ever consider doing flex time or do you like getting off early enough that
I
you're
love getting off early. It's
Yeah.
like the best thing ever. And my old job, I did like an open shift from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. with a 30-minute lunch. So it's like kind of the same, which
Mhm.
I'm used to it. But those CERTCOM mornings are early.
You have to be on a call at 6. That's so different from just
5:30
being
on those
at
days.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5:30. Yeah, I'm starting at 7:30 right now, but next, like when I come back, it will have been daylight savings will be happening in the US, so I'll be starting at 6:30 instead. But I'm kind of excited for it. Like getting off at 2:30 is like
Yeah. Together in solidarity, Carly. Like that's we're in it together.
it's tough, but it's possible. Like I feel like that's when my body's happiest is when I'm going to sleep early and I'm waking up early. I used to not be a morning person, but I've like kind of forced myself to become one, and I think it's a better me.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, Whitney like cannot relate.
No. My mom was always a morning person. I don't know how. I actually read one of her journals recently where there was a line in there that was like, she was like 16 and she's like, my mom made me wake up early. I will never be a morning person. And then just rips apart morning people. And I'm like, you had no idea.
Wow, you don't know what you were gonna become. That must be so weird reading her journals.
Yeah.
Was she a big journaler like always or no?
No, it's more of like she tried to write a book once. So it's kind of like I'm reading her journal, reading the book she wrote.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. That's really cool. Like so weird, but really cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I wish I could ask her about some of the things, but I also know a lot of the things already. So it's cool just reading her words.
mm-hmm.
And you never know, you might find out something brand new.
Right? I'm kind of looking
And
forward
Whitney's
to
adopted.
that. No, but it does like detail how and when she discovered her biological parents because she is adopted. So
Oh,
that's
that's
great.
cool. That's really cool.
Is that your family that lives in
Portland.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, here?
Yeah, she drove up from Utah up to Portland one year when she was 19, I think, to meet her bio parents.
Very
Wow, that's so cool.
I'm gonna let them back in 2 minutes.
Sounds good.
Is this part recorded?
Oh yeah, it is. It is, but then Lacey just cuts it out.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Lacey.
It's not
Hey,
going in,
Lacey.
but I do forget that it is recorded, and I'm like,
That's so funny.
It's okay. This is work
I won't talk
appropriate.
to me shit then.
Do you all have a win from 2025 so far?
Oh, that's what I was saying when I was muted earlier.
Oh,
I'm like, why isn't anyone respond? Oh, I'm muted.
No one's celebrating my wins. No one can hear you, Whitney.
Damn. No, but the only thing I can think of is I did site visitor training this week for the first time.
Nice.
That was a win for me doing something new.
and
Nice.
it was so casual too. The two people that came were so nice.
Yeah.
That's fun. It's about time Sydney gives those up.
Trying to get her to pass them off or like share it, and I almost volunteered to do it a couple days ago, and then I was like, she has a busy day, I don't want her to feel like she has to train me, so I didn't. And then the day of, she's like, any chance you can do this? Like, yes.
Like, actually, yes. I was gonna ask you if I could anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna let him back.
Cool.
Wow, wins for you guys. I just took up all that time.
My pending win is, assuming Aces goes well, then I will have fully event planned an event.
Yay. That'll be
Fully
so good.
picked a food and bev selection and booked all the rooms and all that fun stuff.
That's commitment.
Unsolicited commitment. What about you, Abby?
Um, well, my brother and his wife just had a baby, so that's not necessarily a win directly for me, but for the fam, which is exciting.
That's
sure.
awesome. Have you gotten to meet the baby?
I was there actually when it happened, and I'm going this weekend again too, so I'm excited.
Oh, that's awesome. Hello, everybody. I can see everybody's trickling back into the main room. Hope you all had some optimistic conversations and have a little bit of light going into your weekend. We are going to wrap it up here real quick. I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody for coming. A huge thank you to Gabe, Charlie, and Ed for pitching today. You all did a fantastic, fantastic job. And a huge thank you to our judges, Jillian, John, and Catherine. You all gave really, really great feedback, and we really appreciate you coming and supporting this event and our suppliers, helping everybody make their pitches better and better. So I really appreciate that. And then I also just wanted to say our next Sip and Pitch Friday will be taking place on Friday, March 28th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. So 4 weeks from now exactly. So we will all see you next month for more Sip and Pitch. And thanks again for joining everybody, and hope you all have a wonderful weekend.